Hello. Mr. Lauder.
One second.
Yeah. I'm Irina.
I know.
Hi, how are you? Nice.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. If you could please take your seats, we're going to start in just a moment. Doamnelor și domnilor, bună dimineața! Dacă puteți începe să luați loc, o să începem în câteva clipe.
Yes, take my seat.
Right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, Madam Prime Minister, and your distinguished colleagues, Your Excellencies, First Vice President Timmermans, members of the European Parliament, dear guests. It is a pleasure to welcome you this morning under the auspices of the Romanian Presidency of the Council of the European Union to move together from policy to action to protect Jewish communities in Europe. Allow me to say a few words in Romanian as we start. Bună dimineața, doamnelor și domnilor, stimată doamnă prim-ministru, bună dimineața, distinșilor dumneavoastră colegi, dragi invitați. Mă bucur să vă pot întâmpina astăzi sub auspiciile președinției românești a Consiliului Uniunii Europene, pentru a face împreună pași importanți către asigurarea unei vieți evreiești sigure și demne în Uniunea Europeană. We are gathered here today thanks to a Romanian Council presidency that has included among its main priorities the consolidation of our common European values. The fight against antisemitism is indeed more than a policy point. It is nothing short of foundational to the European ethos upon which the EU was founded. On the 6th of December, the EU Council adopted a unanimous declaration by 28 member states to tackle antisemitism, a comprehensive document with far-reaching recommendations. We have today a unique opportunity to actually breathe life into this declaration, to determine next steps and understand what individual states can and should do to carry this declaration forward. But before proceeding, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Alina Brickman. I am the elected president of the European Union of Jewish Students, the political representation of national Jewish student unions all over Europe, acting on behalf of over 160,000 young Jews, and 3 of them are today in this room. On top of that, as you just heard a second ago, I am a proud Romanian citizen, and in fact, a graduate of the first generation of the Jewish school, the Lauder School in Bucharest. With that, let me actually greet Ms. Tova Benun Cerbis, who met me when I was just 6 years old, and who I hope shares in a moment of pride that I myself experienced while speaking to you here today. Back then and for many years after, my Jewish identity brought only positive things. a sense of belonging, a large group of friends, opportunities to learn and discover, summer camps, and a pleasant curiosity on behalf of my non-Jewish friends to know what this whole Jewish thing was about. But things have become more complicated, and it is about these more complicated things that we are here to talk about. In any event, today I will play two roles. On one side, I will try to facilitate the swift flow of this very intensive day. But more importantly, I would like to make most use of these few minutes I have to address you as a youth representative on behalf of 10% of the entire Jewish population of Europe. So I was thinking, given this unique opportunity to address you, what is that one thing that I can leave you with? What is that one message that I want to leave you with? And it's this. The European Union of Jewish Students, more than anything else, is a community of values. A community that, as one of our alumnus puts it, does not shy away from complicated questions and does not seek simple solutions. As Jewish students oppose historical revisionism, as Jewish students rally against state-endorsed and state-funded anti-Semitic attacks and conspiracy theories, as Jewish students oppose far-right political parties that are trying to get their kosher stamps, as Jewish students fight against the outpour of anti-Zionism emboldened by prominent political figures today, as Jewish students oppose Holocaust denial, distortion, and trivialization, as Jewish students advocate for more education, for more protection, for more data. And here let me actually make a bracket and thank the European Commission for taking on our proposal to commission a youth-specific survey that will actually present the perceptions of young European Jews for the first time. As Jewish students do all these things, we remain faithful to two core principles: that our duty is to ensure a thriving Jewish communal life in Europe, anchored in a strong and positive Jewish identity, and that this positive Jewish identity goes hand in hand and cannot exist without a broader care for the society as a whole. Respect for the rule of law, respect for democratic processes, empowerment of all minorities, be they Muslim, Roma, gender and sexual minorities, immigrants, women, people with disabilities, and all those who face the challenging reality of holding more than one of these identities at the same time. Respect for human rights, and the strong faith in the European project as the longest-lasting peace project Europe has ever known. I hope our discussions onward will echo these two principles. This conference here today represents an enormous opportunity to move forward, to ensure a fruitful and dignified Jewish life in Europe, and to make good on the commitments of the EU Council Declaration. I am proud that, after the adoption of the IRA working definition of anti-Semitism during the Romanian chairmanship, through the courageous work of Ambassador Mihnea Constantinescu, to whom we dedicate this event today, once again, Romania is at the forefront of the fight against anti-Semitism. And so I would personally like to thank the Romanian presidency for this. It is with this that I invite you to listen to the opening remarks of our first distinguished guests and let them serve as a basis for discussion in the panels later in the day. We have with us an incredibly distinguished panel composed of Madam Prime Minister Viorica Dăncilă, Mr. Franz Timmermans, the first Vice President of the European Commission, Mr. Ronald Lauder, President of the World Jewish Congress, Ms. Raya Kalenova, Executive Vice President and CEO of the European Jewish Congress, Mr. David Harris, CEO of the American Jewish Committee, Mr. Dan Mariacin, CEO and Executive Vice President of Bnei Brit International, and through a video live broadcast, Mr. Itzhak Herzog, Chairman of the Executive of the Jewish Agency for Israel. Also joining us a little bit later will be Mr. Heinz Becker, Member of the European Parliament and Chair of the Anti-Semitism Working Group. With these, I would like to invite Madam Prime Minister to give her opening remarks. Madam Prime Minister, you have the floor.